Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm doing this from my phone today, so hopefully the picture looks clear. Hopefully the sound is good. But today we were just talking about a couple things. First off, before I get to the real topic, about how people need to really communicate more and not misinterpret communication. First thing is McDonald's with the whole Big Mac. Listen, you're putting way too much lettuce on there. Way too much lettuce. Second, I say second for last. Okay. You know, when people just can't seem to have a conversation these days without people getting mad. It's okay for people to disagree with you. It's okay to have different points of view. As long as that person's point of view is not evolve or does not revolve around hate or hurting somebody, but it's okay to have different views. And it's like now people can't have different points of views without somebody getting mad or somebody getting upset. It's like, come on. Everybody, that's the whole thing about being an individual, having your own thoughts, having your own feelings and emotions. That's how you learn about other people. That's how you understand different cultures, different things. And that's what makes a real friend a friend. When you got somebody that you can actually talk to and they're not just going to agree with you. They're not just going to say, okay, well, they like this, so I got to like it too. You want that. Even in relationships, it's cool to have some things in common, but it's also good to have some differences because it makes you challenge each other. Especially if you're a type of person that really like stimulating conversations. And when I say that, I'm talking about you like to engage in conversation with people that's going to make you think, even make you look at your position and say, okay, you know what? I never thought about it that way. I never saw it that way. I was on Instagram. I was a part of dang, I forgot her name. She has a live. She was doing a live show, and they was talking about dating and men, and it got into a discussion about nurturing. And I was listening to them from the women's point of view because I wanted to hear what also kind of chimed in on the fact that sometimes you can put a person in a box, and when you put a person in a box, they're only going you're only allowing them to grow so far. And a lot of people do that. They put people in a box. You acted like this a year ago. Now a certain situation similar to that has come up, and you're expecting that person to act the same way. You have to consider the fact that somebody could have went through learned, wrote, and learned from it. So when that situation comes again, they may be calmer about it. They may have a better understanding of how to deal with it. When you put a person in a box, you're forcing them to kind of behave in a way that could have been immature before because you have that expectancy of them that they have to act this way because they acted that way before. You don't take time to really let a person grow. Let them be them. Let them evolve. Let them have personal development, personal growth. And it just kills me, man, how people just can't have a conversation without somebody getting upset and ready to fight. People end in friendship, they end in relationships. And I understand it's stressful right now. I know it's a lot of bull crap going on. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. It's a lot of bull crap going on. But still, you have to let people be individuals. You cannot just simply shut people out, cut people off, attack people on social media, or turn around and then just go after people simply because they don't have the same point of view about something that you do. I don't want people like that around me. I want people with different points of views. Challenge me. Make me think about situations. Make me think about circumstances. Open my eyes and mind to maybe a way of seeing things that I maybe didn't think about. If people are so shallow right now that they only can see their point of view in life, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to be horrible in business. You're going to be horrible in relationships because the whole world basically, I'm about to hit somebody, basically has to adopt to your way of thinking. And that is a poor way. It is a poor way to establish friendships, and it really does create such a negative mindset of how people are going to perceive you, how they're going to, even want to be around you. And you're going to find that people are going to just start having conversations that are so shallow around you because they don't want to engage in conversations with you. They don't want to talk to you because they feel like having a conversation with you is going to have to be fake. Who wants to have a conversation with somebody to where you have to be fake about what you believe, what you think, how you feel? Who wants a conversation like that? You should be able to have a conversation with somebody and be honest about who you are and what your beliefs are. But today, it's like you can't do that. It's like you can only hang with people that think the way you think, do the things you do, believe the things you believe. And then when you do that, you're really shortchanging yourself because you can't grow. You can if you how can you get motivated to become better and learn when you're stuck in the same mindset as the people around you? How can you actually get out of your bubble? If you want more financial wealth, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, if you want to go back to school, you want to start a business, you want to write a book. Well, if you're hanging around people who has done none of that, then you're not going to do that. Because the only ideas that you're going to have about how to succeed at that stuff is from people who have never done it. But when you hang around people who have actually done things like bought a house, wrote a book, started a business, somebody who's had a successful relationship, somebody who's recovered from a divorce, you got to hang around people that has done some things in life. You don't have to be their best friends. You don't have to be their best buddies, but you need to absorb that knowledge from them. You got to absorb that knowledge. And so many people are so stuck on the fact that every conversation has to revolve around them. Every conversation, every topic of every conversation has to revolve around them and come back to them. You have to be able to communicate. You got to be able to communicate. And it just sticks in my craw these days when I see people cannot hold a conversation for 5 minutes. And I am dead serious. When I say people can't hold a conversation, it's like they will start talking, and the second somebody says, I don't know, I don't see it that way, they got an attitude. They got an attitude. They mad. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to talk no more. Or they want to jump down the other person's throat. It's like, dang, hear the person out. Hear what they're saying. Try to understand why they feel the way they feel or think the way they think. I know that I got points of views that everybody is not going to agree with. And a lot of times our points of views are, we do get them based on our experiences, things we've been through in life. But it doesn't mean that it's always negative. It doesn't mean that, because of our experiences that everything we think and feel is going to be negative. Sometimes it's just based on the fact that you just learn and you figure things out. That if you do it this way, you're going to get screwed. But sometimes people can't get that. Hold on, I'm trying to scoot over these 18-wheelers. So it's like, matter of fact, you know what? Don't even argue with people like that. If you're trying to hold a conversation and from your standpoint, it's like, hey, we just have an intelligent conversation. I want to hear your views. I'm asking you to hear mine. If that person gets into an attitude where they don't want to hear your views, you know what? Just be like, okay, you know what? I respect your decision and move on. Keep it moving. That's what I do. Like when I'm talking to somebody and I see that they are stuck in a mindset of my way is right and there's no other way and everything you say is wrong, I just get them to, okay. Oh, that's how you feel? Oh, okay. Well, everybody got their beliefs and I'll let them have a conversation. Either I'll break away from them like, hey, well, you know what? I got to run, man. Or whoever, good talking to you. But I don't argue with people no more. In my younger days, I would have sat there and debated with them. But now it's like, no, I'm not gonna argue with you. You're not even trying to hear or gain wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what somebody else has been through, and they can teach you something. Even your enemies in conversation can teach you something. Sometimes you just gotta listen, and that's one thing I learned in life: to shut my big ass mouth up and listen, because you will actually learn something from other people. Like I said, even if it's your enemies will tell you the plan that they have against you if you listen. Just listen. That's what I do. I just listen. But don't argue with people, but we really do have to learn how to have conversations without feeling like we being attacked, without feeling like everybody has to have my point of view. And it just really, it gets on my nerves that people just take it to the 10th level for no reason. And I'm like, seriously? You're mad over that? That's what you're upset about? That's what you beefing about? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't know if it's technology or what, but it's like people do not know how to talk to each other anymore. People do not know how to hold a conversation. Every conversation now goes to war. The slightest thing, the simplest thing means we on battlegrounds. And I'm like, I see why people are like, I don't even want to talk to nobody. I don't want to be bothered. That's why a lot of people go to work and they're like, you know what? I'm going to sit at my desk or wherever I'm at. I don't want to talk to nobody. Don't nobody talk to me. A lot of people are getting in that mindset. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to deal with people. They don't want to talk to people. But can you blame them? I mean, honestly, can you blame them? That's how people are now. It's like, I don't want to be bothered with people. But, who wants all that negativity, though? So people are just starting to shut other people out. Don't deal with them. Live my life my way. It's more peaceful like that if I ain't got to deal with the drama and the bullshit. But you just got to think about the things that you do, the people you engage with, and just make sure that you are not getting, don't waste your energy and time on people that are not willing to have a decent conversation, that can't hold a decent conversation. Because you're going to find that you are feeling so drained and empty by the time that conversation is done. You're going to feel like you've been busting rocks with a sledgehammer for 2 weeks straight after a 5 or 6 minute conversation with somebody that did nothing but give you a headache. And half the time when I see people arguing, I'm like, you get mad at this person and you arguing with this person, but they saying the same thing you saying. So I don't understand. Why are you getting mad? What are you upset about? They're basically saying they're agreeing with you, but yet you want to argue and fight. I mean, you want to argue about it. You want to debate a topic to where they're actually agreeing with you. I don't know if people just deaf, dumb, or stupid, but it's like, it just kills me that when I see people do that, I'm like, man, folks just need to grow up. I'm like, I don't know where the adults went in this generation, this age, 2020, but at some point, we lost adulthood. It's like a lot of people just got stuck in their teenage years. We got 30 and 40-year-old people that still got the mindset and the communication skills of a teenager. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy these days. My last point, I said I had a second thing. If you work at a job that's a 9 to 5, 11 to 7, whatever the hours are, you know what I'm saying? You go to work 10 hours, 8 hours. For all of you out there who feel like your coworkers are your friends, your coworkers are not your friends. And people need to understand something. A coworker is a coworker. There's nothing wrong with being a coworker. It just means that we work together. That's all it means. We work together. To me, a friend is somebody that I've been through something with. We have that relationship, that bond, that connection. We talk outside of work. A coworker is somebody that when I go to work, I see you. We talk about the weather. We may talk about sports. You know what I'm saying? Stuff on the job, goof around here and there. But there's no real deep conversations. We don't consult about anything. Like you don't know nothing about me. I don't know nothing about you. I'm not asking you nothing about you or trying to learn nothing about you because you're simply a coworker. That's your place in my life. And I think some people get it mixed up because they think just because you work together on a job that you're friends. And that is not true. Which brings me to the point of why I said all that. Social media, because I had this discussion with somebody else and he was like, yeah, some of my coworkers think that it's cool that they want to follow me on social media, but I don't want them in my life like that. And my thing is, I understand his point. I really do, because people who normally follow you are people that you may invite, people you know. When coworkers normally follow you on a job, it's not because they care about you or what you're doing. They're being nosy. You know it, and I know it. They're being nosy. When coworkers follow you, it's all because they being nosy. They want to see what you got going on. They want to see who in your life. They want to see your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, whatever. That's why coworkers follow you on social media. Then they want to go back to the job and blab it to everybody else. So that's why I say, because I had a business account and I made mine. I just switched back to personal account to make it private. But I told him, I said, I said, you use all that stuff, you get the same features, just make your social media private. That way you can select who you allow in, who you allow out. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Co-workers are more about being nosy and inquisitive for the wrong reasons. They're not follow you because they're trying to you trying to start business or support you, just being nosy. But I will give some advice. If you are starting social media or have a social media, anytime, y'all should know this, anytime somebody puts their phone number, your phone number in their phone, automatically it's going to pull up on theirs. Their social media is going to pull from it, including your email. So this is what I tell people to do. Create an email account that is just for your all social media ask you what's your email address. Create an email. Don't use your name. Just make it something like my social media at yahoo.com. And whenever you sign up for a social media account, you use that email address. And I tell people, like, sometimes it's so easy now to get apps to where you get like a phone number, get like a Google phone number, but an app that allows you to get text messages. All these social media sites now want to say, let us text you a verification. So get one of those. Look at somebody calling now. Hey, I'm gonna get up with y'all.